Hello, Dumaguete!
Hello, Negros Oriental!
Hello, Sillimanians around the world!
This is Joshua Soldivillo.
And this is Ronelyn Vailoces-Not.
You're watching
Silliman!
For Silliman updates, Silliman University English Department faculty members presented their research papers at the 19th Annual Cambodia TESOL Conference on English Language last February 17 to 19 at Phnom Penh, Cambodia. The conference was established in 2005 by IDP Education Cambodia as a platform for professional development and upskilling in English teaching in the Asia-Pacific region. It's supported by the Cambodia's Ministry of Education, Youth and Sport, and the US, Australian, and British embassies and other educational institutions involved in ELT in Cambodia, Southeast Asia, and beyond. Congratulations, guys, and keep up the good work.
Dr. Ferdinand M. Mangibin, Silliman University School of Public Affairs and Governance Dean, Assistant Professor Camons S. Kilat, Silliman University Senior High School Principal, and Silliman University Senior High School faculty members, Assistant Professor Joshua S. Soldivillo and Shem Daryl S. Medes, attended the Private Education Assistance Committees, or PAC, training of trainers for the 2023 In-Service Training, or INSET, for senior high school teachers last February 25 to 27 via Zoom and March 16 to 19, 2023 at Makati Diamond Residences in Makati City.
On the other news, congratulations to the 9 new licensed physicians from Silliman University Medical School who passed the March 2023 Physician Licensure Examination. Congratulations as well to the Institute of Clinical Laboratory Sciences for producing 149 registered medical technologists who passed the March 2023 Medical Technologists Licensure Examination. Keep up the excellent work, Sillimanians! That will be all, and see you next week for another set of #Silliman updates.
Good evening, everyone. This is a magazine program that talks about different aspects of Silliman University.
A program initiated to discuss different matters concerning the campus by the sea. Welcome to #Silliman. Hi, everyone. Hi, Sillimanians and friends of Silliman around the world. Daghang salamat for joining another episode of #Silliman. We thank you for making us your Monday night company. Ron, how are you?
I'm fine, Josh. How was your vacation?
Wow, it was awesome. All right. As awesome as the academic convocation that we held, that was last week, we heard our university president giving emphasis on the different areas that we have achieved for the past months and years. Ron, we mentioned about the different top-notchers for the different board examinations sponsored by the Professional Regulation Commission. We also highlighted the different initiatives that the university actually did for the past months, especially our community engagements, and more importantly, we paid homage to the former university president, the then Dr. Angel Alcala, right? So I think he really has major contributions, not only to herpetology and to marine biology, but even to the humankind, right? So we are proud of you, sir, and this month we are also celebrating Fire Prevention Month and the International Women's Month.
Yes, Josh.
So a lot of things happening. And of course, one of the celebrations right now in our academic calendar is the University Intramurals. And that's why tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we have invited the people behind the University Intramurals. Ron, why don't you introduce our guests for tonight?
Yes, we have here the Young and Energetic Sports Committee. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let me introduce them to you. We have a BS Administration major in Marketing Management third-year student, Ryan Mapoy.
Hello. Hi, Ryan.
Welcome to #Silliman. And we also have here with us today a Bachelor of Mass Communication sophomore, Jullian Sevilla.
Hello, good evening, ma'am. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Jullian. And of course, we have Sharon, pinakagwapo sa university.
And Suki ng hashtag.
Yes,
Silliman.
Suki ng hashtags. And everybody loves him. The director of the athletics department, Assistant Professor Dionesio Piñero II.
Hello.
Sir Nino, welcome back to the show.
Yeah, it's nice to be back again.
Always. You are a favorite of hashtag Silliman, sir. Right, guys. So let us begin our conversation with your feelings, your expectations, and what's on your mind. Given that, Ron, for how many years did we have a hiatus? 3 years back?
3 years, I think.
3 years, no?
po ba? Walang intrams.
2.5 years.
2.5
For around, 2.5 years. So how does it feel right now that finally we're back on the track again?
What we are feeling right now is a bit stressed because since it's gonna be
Akala ko we're so happy. Stressed pala.
Mas stressed.
For the preparations.
Yeah, for the preparation.
Happy problems. Okay.
Yeah.
Happy problems because we will be happy that once again it will be back to face setting and with the stress because the preparations from we are going from scratch again since after the pandemic going until now it's really stressful.
Right.
Yeah, and to add to that as well, it truly is stressful and it's a pressure for us because the students and especially the faculty and staff and everyone in the university involved is really hoping that mas chada gani karon and mas exciting, and that's what makes us feel pressured because they're expecting a lot from us. That's why we are also we're also pressured in preparing for the intramurals, especially for the games. But it also is exciting for us to see everyone. Each of the students in the colleges are going hand in hand in making their sports be the best of the best in the college, in the university rather. So
definitely,
it's really exciting, and at the same time, it's a lot of pressure, but we're hoping for the best outcomes.
Ang galing naman natin mga student leaders. How about you, Sir Nins? What do you feel that again, we will be hearing the noises, the cheers?
And the bringing of the calderos.
Meron pa ba yun? Is it allowed? Is still allowed this year to bring? Okay.
Now my speculation is that our athletes, especially student athletes, they are so aggressive of the coming of the intramural games because this for 2.5 years they were just in the virtual we call it virtual court for playing those games, but now it's going to be physical. So aggressiveness, enthusiasm, and all those attitudes and behaviors of our student athletes are expected to come out because this is where they can express their experiences during the pandemic.
Yes, that's true.
So last year, sir, we have intramurals.
Yeah.
And now we have intrams.
Intramurals.
So what to expect? So are we also having e-games like we had last year?
Are we retaining the e-games?
Yeah, we call now esports because of the many participation coming from the departments and the colleges involved. So we encourage the SUSG Sportscom to handle it because it's going to be a lot of participations coming from the different students.
Yeah, so I'm just curious about how do you handle it? How many people are there in your team, knowing that we have a physical activity, a face-to-face activity, and then we also have virtual because we have
working
the
on this,
esports,
sir, is the athletics department. You're heading that one. The SUSG Sports Committee. Is there any organization involved?
Physical Education Department.
PE, the PE department,
And the PE majors.
and the PE majors. So these three work hand in hand.
Yes, the three of those departments work hand in hand, as well as some student organizations that are also helping in the process of creating the esports and making it happen, especially in the organization of the event. So just going back to the esports thing, so we are expecting a high level of athleticism in the physical stage, in the physical courts rather, but we're also expecting a high level of athleticism in the esports as well, because that's what makes it esports, because there's also this high level of athleticism that goes on in the esports. And we are about 60 people working in the SUSG Sports Committee. That also includes the SUSG Environment Committee, the SUSG Health Emergency Response Team, the SUSG Health Committee, and all of the SUSG committees that are involved in the preparations of the intramurals, because we want to give the best experience as well. And
Yeah.
so we included the SUSG Environment Committee because we also have this Clean As You Go competition wherein the students...
That's very important to
Yes.
us.
It's really important, especially with Silliman University having the environmental policy. So
Right.
it's really important for us to have this Clean As You Go policy in all the venues of the sports to make sure that everything is neat and clean here when we play the games.
Right.
And so with the 60 people that are involved in the preparation...
60 people.
60 around
From the
more or less-
SUSG.
that's just from the SUSG.
Alone.
Yeah.
Oo.
So, yeah, that's most of the people that's going to work, and that includes the
Wow.
organization, the logistics, and yeah, that's pretty
The
much-
food committee.
Yeah, the food committee.
Okay.
Right. Now, let's talk about now the timeline. That of course, you right now, I would assume you are busy preparing for it. When does the university intramurals begin? At the same time, when do you have championship games? Do you have your closing ceremonies? Let's talk about first, when is the official start of the intrams?
Okay, the official start of intramural games will be this coming Sunday. That's August.
March.
That is March 26 up to April 1. So
Okay.
some games are being pulled out earlier because we want to decongest the events
okay.
during the scheduled dates, like the Mr. and Miss Intrams.
Ay, meron na ngayong
We
ano?
had it last weekend,
Okay.
and then this coming Saturday we are pulling out Larong Pinoy and some basketball games.
Right.
And then in Sunday afternoon, around 1 p.m., we will be pulling out again another game in basketball. And then at 4 o'clock, we will have the opening. So a short but it will start with a fellowship, a short parade going to the ball field.
So this is from Silliman Church.
Silliman Church to ball field. So surprise opening that is prepared by the PE department and of course with the SUSG Sportscom. They are preparing something so that
Wow.
the intramural for this year is going to be more meaningful,
And
more
memorable.
Is
vibrant.
this like a fireworks display afterwards?
Never know.
Or maybe they will be giving free something, no? Or maybe they have invited an athlete, Ron, known worldwide. We don't know.
Hopefully, we can
Kaya
invite
ma-surprise.
some-
Surprise.
Surprise. So some of the venues we tap the Negros Oriental Provincial Office, like we requested to use the Macias Sports Complex,
Right.
Perdices
wow.
Coliseum, and then from the private sector, we also requested Riverside for our badminton, and then one public, sports venue is also the Daro Barangay
Court.
multipurpose
A
hall.
multi-purpose court. Right. So, Sir Nils, you've mentioned about this Mr. and Miss Intram. I think, is this the first time?
Oh, yes, Josh.
Is this the first
Actually,
time that this is happening?
It's a comeback.
I see.
It's a comeback.
When was
So-
the last time
Yeah.
or when was the first time, sir?
I do not know. It's many years
Years ago.
So essentially, what is the purpose of Mr. Like, does this have to be like a show off of abs and muscles or like body curves? Because they have not given me a notice.
Actually, no.
You should be the judge.
Yes. What's the purpose of this Mr. and Miss
The Mr. and
Intrams?
Miss Intrams is not actually about the physique of the athletes,
okay.
or the candidates rather. It's more on their athleticism. So the preliminaries, which was conducted last March 18, the tests were about swimming, and then we have their running, as well as some muscle workouts like pull-ups and curl-ups and stuff. Yeah.
So it's not an ordinary beauty contest,
No,
something
it's
like that.
It's not a beauty contest. It's
Okay.
literally fitness.
Fitness. So you really have
Endurance
to,
stamina.
like you have to count, for example, number of push-ups,
Yes,
number
so
of.
in a span of time, how
So
many
gusto mo
push-ups,
pa.
how many curl-ups.
Think
I
about
know.
it. That's good. That's good. And who are the participants of this Mr. and Miss
So
Intrams?
each college has one male and one female contestant. So,
Okay.
yeah.
So, halimbawa, there will be College of Ed, Engineering, and then they will compete for the most number of, let's say, push-ups or...
No.
Yeah.
the competition was time based on how fast they performed how fast they executed the swimming, the running, the test. Basically the whole test. They are ranked which ones were the fastest. Who
So
finished
speed,
fastest.
something
Yeah,
like that. Speed is very
And then for the girls, what were the...
Same thing, but lesser time than the boys.
Okay.
Yeah.
When is the finals for this?
Do we already have the winners? Not yet.
We
Not
already
yet.
have.
We will be announcing the winners during the opening.
Oh, that's
That is
interesting.
why during the opening there are prepared surprise.
Yeah, so
It's not just a surprise, but surprises.
Surprises.
So,
Okay.
so I do not know what's the plan, what's going to happen during the opening, because
I think
it's
kabalo si Sir Nils.
Mapili and the Sportscom.
Sir, ano ba?
Okay, later on, let's see if we can make Sir Nins spill the tea. But for now, we are just going to take a short break. But when we come back, sir, one of the things that we also talk about with Assistant Professor Ramacho was this issue about the Silliman becoming into the 4C instead of the 5C, because we are using right now the library, or the library is using right now the gym as their new home. But how is this affecting so far your preparations, and what are the challenges also? What if there's going to be this rain or some unfavorable weather conditions? What are the contingency plans? All of that and more when #Silliman returns. Stay with us. Hey there, we're back and thank you for staying with us. This is still #Silliman. Before we took a short break, we actually asked a question to Sir Nino about this, Ron, we are now 4Cs, wala ng court because of the gym. And what are the preparations you're doing, sir? And by the way, if I may add, there's this another announcement that we're not pushing through with the cheer dance competition. And this is also one of the highlights that everybody's excited about. So maybe our televiewers will also listen to official explanations of things. Sir Nims?
With regard to the cheer dance, upon the recommendation of the higher administration, because of the observations made during the past years when cheer dance was still part of the Founders Day activity and then later be part of the intramural games. So the observations made, interpreted by the higher admin, they said that it's not safe as of the moment because we just had the pandemic and we still experience some problems about the pandemic effect. So we're trying to put it at the side first and then maybe next year they will consider it upon the recommendation of our university physician. So it's all in the hands of Dr. Orsos because of health issues.
Right.
So
So
the reason is really
safety.
health issues and safety.
Right. So I think we should agree to that, no? That
Yes.
safety first, among
Safety,
others.
yes.
And then the second one,
The
sir.
second one is on the gymnasium. So the Silliman way of giving and sharing of what is with the department and what is in the university or in the campus, we always have to say, you can use for the meantime because later on, we will be able to benefit what it's
Correct.
going to be. Yes,
Right.
yes, okay.
True.
So, for now, hopefully, the gym will be turned over to us after a year when the modern library will be rehabilitated or how do you call it? Transformed into an international or
World-class library.
world-class library. So this is now the time that all of us will be able to benefit of the
Right.
give and take.
True.
Okay? So I asked Mrs. Romacho because I was informed by Dr. Cleope, Nino, where is the most convenient place to transfer all the books from the library that is closer to the area? Because, sir, Los Auditorium, do you think I can use that? Ayun na good yan. Of course, sir, the gymnasium, because gymnasium is not a gymnasium but a multi-purpose gymnasium.
Yes.
So
Correct.
it will not only accommodate PE classes, but this is also accommodating any type of activities.
Right.
So before, when the re-roofing and the rehabilitation of the playing court of the gym, PE classes were also affected. And some university activities, co and extracurricular activities were also affected. So I was the PE chair at that time, so I make use of what is available in the university. And now we are so lucky that the Simafranca ball field, the Alaska court is already transferred there. So
Right.
there's a basketball court and volleyball
Volleyball.
court added from the existing soccer field and track. So the Silliman Buffet can really accommodate any.
Yeah. We have a
Events.
very,
Yes, so that is why the opening for intramurals is being held at the Simafranca ball field. And this was also my dream before. Why don't the intramurals be transferred to the ball field? Because it has a bigger space.
Yes.
Yeah,
And a lot of students can witness, rather than in the gym, very limited.
Limited.
People to be accepted,
Right.
to attend and witness. While in the ball field, everyone can witness. you are alumni, you are member of the community, so you can really witness, oh, is this the intramurals of Silliman University? It's like
Olympics.
having an national opening or something like that.
Right.
So people will really see and observe, grabe ang intramurals sa Silliman.
Correct.
So you see, so it's just give and take.
And we have a lot of other facilities, no?
Yes,
like
we
the
have.
ball field and the other courts.
And not just that, Josh. Sir Piñero mentioned a while ago that we are also using the facilities in the province or in Dumaguete
Yes.
City. So I think that is the spirit of sharing and giving. At the same time, you also receive something, diba? So,
Having this sense of community.
that's true, Josh.
So I learned the give and take when Silliman also accepting and hosting the activities come from the province. Like we
Yes.
had during the pandemic, the university was the one hosting the Security Council meeting of
Right.
President Duterte. So that was held here in the
University.
university. So give and take.
Yes, that's true.
Right. Speaking of give and take, let's go to the scores and points of the games run. Let's talk about the different.
The different sports available. So we mentioned a while ago that we have esports and we have the regular sports that we know of, basketball, volleyball, and whatnot. So please walk us through the different activities and events that will happen in this year's intramurals.
Oh, I would like to highlight the new
Ito, may bago.
sport
Okay, sige.
that is now added to the regular lineup of the intramural games. Spike ball.
Spike
The
ball.
spike ball or the round
net.
round net.
Okay. The both of us are clueless. Okay.
Yeah. So please
So I
tell
guess
us what
our
is that
televiewers
all
also
about.
would want to know.
This is very new, a new type of game that is mostly played by Sillimanians.
Yeah.
So I call this new trends in sports in Silliman.
Wow.
So first
So-
ever in Silliman, sir.
Yes, first
Wow.
ever in Silliman to have a spike ball intramural game.
Is
So-
this a ball game? Because spike ball, may ball
Yes.
siya. May ball siya.
Ganyan, is it like the volleyball game that we used to spike the ball or whatnot?
No,
What
you
are
have
the
to spike the ball
mechanics?
going to the ground where there is the equipment called the round net. So the ball must bounce on the round net.
Is that the one played at the Boulevard area?
Boulevard.
sir?
Every
Okay,
night
okay, I know
from
that.
9 to 12
Yeah,
midnight.
All right.
Okay, I'm still
That's the one.
clueless.
Oo.
So
How many players does the spike ball have?
Four.
Two each.
Two from each team, but when they are playing, there should be 4 players.
And then how do you determine the winner of the game?
The
You have
number
to-
of score.
You have to number of scores.
Yeah.
In a
the
specific
score,
period
there's
of
a
time.
score limit which is 21.
20. Similar to volleyball,
Yeah.
right?
Paunahan lang.
So in a way, it's same as volleyball.
And how many
except
sets? Only
it's
one set.
best of 3, but
Best of
depends on the arrangement of the team, or in the tournament rather, is best of 3 or best of 5.
Okay.
Mm.
Rally scoring.
And a little addition na lang to the sport, since this is actually, as what Sir mentioned, it's a new trend, but it's actually very long ago na in the world sport of roundnet, but it's recently nadala diri sa Dumaguete City. And I've learned from other players since I just started learning the sport as well. And I learned from the players that only here in Negros Oriental is the sport really active, because outside the province we haven't really heard of
Spike ball.
the spike ball or roundnet.
Maybe fish
So,
ball.
and just a little plug,
Magkain na naman.
just a little plug as well. There is also this Oriental Spike Ball tournament happening this Saturday, and next month there will be a national ranking competition as well.
Ayun. So meron na talagang competition.
Yeah.
So spike ball, basketball, volleyball,
Baseball.
baseball,
Softball.
softball,
Softball.
softball. Do we have frisbee? Something
Yes,
like
there's
that?
also
Frisbee. or-
frisbee.
Ano pa?
And then
Swimming.
Swimming.
badminton, table tennis, chess, and the regular sports that we have, and then we added round net or spike ball, and we also have our esports as well.
Okay.
So,
So
our
for
esports-
esports, what are those sports included?
Those are composed of 4 esports: Valorant, Dota, Mobile Legends, and Call of Duty Mobile.
Oh,
How do
okay.
you do the setup for this esports? Do they have to set up at the computer room or
No,
How do you do
the
this?
event for Dota and Valorant will be held in Ground Zero.
Yeah,
And
one of our sponsors.
Oh.
yeah, Ground Zero is one
Are
of
they
the
a
sponsors.
sponsor for the
Yes.
amazing? So working
And-
with a partner, no?
The ML and Call of Duty Mobile will be held at Oriental Hall.
Oriental
OH.
Hall. Okay, amazing. So, Sir Nino, this seems to be a very big, actually this is a big event, right? So you will need
Yes.
scorers, coaches, ano man tawag doon,
Umpires and referees.
Tabulator.
officers,
Yes.
officiating of people, no? So who are these people that will be joining you? And
Shout out lang,
I
sir.
have-
maybe we can acknowledge them as well.
Yeah. These are the people behind the working committee for the 2023 Intramural Games. Of course, yours truly is the head. And then our consultant is Assistant Professor Miriam Ramacho. And then our jury of appeal, if there are problems encountered during the games, we have Assistant Professor Kimonskilat, your senior high school
Principal.
And then our General Secretariat who handles all the scheduling.
Okay.
Okay, chaired by Assistant Professor Kathleen De Leona, and then Miss Marley Kilario, Mr. Ramir Tero, and of course from the SUSG Sports Committee. And then we also have our liaison officers who will be doing the errands for the results and everything. Then we have Mr. Romy Alom, Mr. Dennis Dayama, Mr. Angelo Palitok, and Mr. Julius Ancino. And then of course, we have emergency responders because
Yes.
we need them. The
in
first
case of-
aiders, yes, in case of injuries or untoward accidents during the course of the Intramural Games. We have the SURCY, the Red Cross Youth of Silliman University, and of course our emergency responders in the university. So our tournament managers for badminton, we have Miss Rehencia, basketball men with Coach Jake, women, Coach Dave, chess, Coach Wilmer. For dance sport,
Ayun, may
Oh,
dance
we
sport
also
pa.
have dance sports, yeah.
Sir Rainier Mapili, and then our football men, Coach Edwin Cabalida, and Coach Andros Idromi. For frisbee, Sir Mebison and Assistant Professor Ricardo Dangan. And then for lawn tennis, we have Coach Pedro Rosalem. And then for the Mr. and Miss Intrams, Mr. Assistant Professor Jenard Obanan. And then Larong Pinoy, Assistant Kathleen De Leona. And then softball, men and women, we have Sir Medis and Ma'am Pagi. And then spike ball, we have Sir Dizon. And then for swimming, we have Sir Jenard Ubanan. Table tennis, we have Sir Jade Liberagay. And then for track, we have Sir Ragay and Sir Nangan. And then for volleyball, men and women, we have Sir Gatchalian, GM Gatchalian, and Manolito Gatchalian. And for the E-Games, headed by Mr. Ryan Mapoy.
Ayun. So we have a lot
Thank
of
you.
we have a lot of events, Ron, no?
Yes.
From the Larong Pinoy, no? Very quickly lang because we have few minutes left. What are also the games in the Larong Pinoy, sir?
As far as I know from Ma'am De Leona, she told me that there is Bakya Relay,
Bakya Relay.
Tag War, then
Sack race. I'm excited for the sack race.
Athlete,
Yeah.
It's so cute.
then obstacle relay. So
Ayun.
there are
Yes,
four.
four.
Sige. That's also fun, no? That we do not lose our Filipino culture,
Yes.
Ron.
You know, Josh, we kept on asking about the what, who are involved,
Yeah.
and then how
The where and the when.
the where and the when, no, and how did the preparation go? Let's ask these three dynamic people here. Why do we need an intramural?
Right. As our culminating question.
Yes.
We should always have, in every university and in every curriculum, there is always what we call the extracurricular activities. Because what you learn from the four walls of the classroom is where you can apply in the extracurricular activities, where
Correct.
this is the wide four walls of your learning, that all what you have learned from the classroom will be applied in the community, like in the sports. So in sports, your decision making, your critical thinking, is being tested on
Correct.
how you play the game. And how you make friends and how to win friends. Not winning games, but how to win friends. Because
Correct.
this is our what's this? Our motto in Silliman for Play 8. It's not about winning, but it's how
You play the game.
we play the game. Yes.
Thank you so much, Sir Nins.
Yes, thank you.
Wonderful. Ryan?
As a student, also an athlete for the intramurals, having intramurals in the academic sector is a big part on us students because it is also where we engage with other people from other colleges, we meet new people, and it is also where we can discipline ourselves in the sports.
Correct.
Because we may be at least not good in academics like myself, but at least
Di naman. Grabe ka naman. Humble naman ni Ryan.
but we can also at least excel in sports.
Yes.
And sports is also a gateway for us to relieve our stress.
Yeah.
True.
Okay, stressful po ng academics, so at least there's sports who is there to relieve our stress.
Ano ba yan, Ron? Na-consent siya. Am I going to
Feeling-
hold classes or not? Sabi niya,
Of course
mag-release
not.
ng stress eh.
Feeling ko stress talaga si Ryan. Kanina pa yan, at the beginning of the,
Okay.
until the end.
You should join the Larong Pinoy.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, Ryan. Julian.
Yeah, so speaking of that academic stress, so it's also one way to relieve your stress because right after the midterms week, that's where the intramurals happen. So it's a breather for us. And as well as it also promotes a physical fitness for all of us, not
Yes.
just physically but also mentally.
True.
As well as it could also promote the competitiveness and the discipline of the person or of the student athlete because in the Silliman University intramural games, I think it has been tagged by everyone else na it's not just an ordinary intramural games that we'll be holding, but there's high level of competitiveness of the student athletes as well. And with this, it's something that you cannot just learn in the four walls of the classroom, as what Sir
Yes.
said. So it's a really good thing for us students, student athletes. We can be physically fit, but we also learn a lot of things like discipline and competitiveness. And on top of all, it's sportsmanship. Dun.
Ayan.
So
Yes.
there is a high level of competitiveness in the student athletes, but there's also this high level of sportsmanship.
Ayun.
And that's what we are promoting.
And Ron, if there's like a hibalag fling, meron din may intramurals
Yes.
fling. O, di ba? Baka naman. Ron, would you like to say something?
Well, anyway, thank you very much for the things that you've said. Actually, we have a last segment called WTP.
But before we proceed, sir, what is your message to our athletes right now? That our players, especially that some will, part of the game, some will not win, some will win. Any final message, sir, to all our competing teams?
To all the participants for the 2023 intramural games, let us go there, participate, interact, socialize, win friends, and of course, you always have to play the spirit of sportsmanship because as a Silliman student, we always want to have that kind of fellowship with one another. So let us just elaborate on how to win friends and how to be one with the others during the intramural
Ay,
games.
ang ganda
let us
nun.
enjoy and have fun
Yun.
with this.
True.
The spirit of sportsmanship.
And that is really the essence of intramurals, Josh. No? And I'd like to bank on what Sir Piñero said. It's a fellowship.
Yes.
No. And now we are at the last segment of our episode. #WTP. Let me ask you first, Josh.
Yes.
What is your word to ponder?
Well, I think given the preparation as organizers and the message of Sir for the competing teams, I think I'd like to reflect or ponder on the word teamwork. Right? Teamwork, because of course in the preparations, we've seen that Sir Nino here has been like in the athletics field for how many years? So let's not mention to keep the element of surprise. But
Wala talagang spin lang thesis,
yeah,
sir.
even him, he's still working with others. No,
Yes.
that's already Sir Nino, but still he's able to delegate, designate, at the same time coordinate with other people because that's the essence of making things work together is also making sure that people that work together truly is, how do you call this one? Unified with the goals. No? So teamwork makes the dream work. And no man is an island run. So, and that's what also Silliman spirit is all about. Working with others, winning friends, and whether you lost in the competition or in the game, the good thing is you have already won a friend. You have won someone in your life.
Want someone in your life? Yes. Friends lang ba to?
Okay. Ikaw, Ron, what is your word to ponder?
Yeah, my word to ponder is actually nag-iisip ako while talking to them, but they already told us the word, and it was really sportsmanship. Because intramurals is all about sports, but I'd like to ponder on the word sportsmanship because it's not just about winning and losing the game, but as what Sir Piñero said, it's about how you actually play the game. And while games or sports require a certain level of competitiveness, but let us not forget that we are there to actually have fun. We are there to actually relax in a sense that it's an escape for us from the four walls of the classroom, and we must always remember. I don't really I can't really memorize what was written in that gymnasium, but there is I'd like to ponder on the phrase that it's all about how we play the game, because at the end of the day we all have a great scorer watching over us, and that is something that you cannot just apply in any sports, but you can also apply that in real life.
True.
So that's it, Josh.
And on that note, 100 points kayo sa amin because you've joined our episode tonight. See you next week, and to God be the glory. Hey there, Sillimanians! Daghang salamat for joining another episode tonight. And please support our Facebook page. It's called #Silliman. Don't forget to like, comment, and share your favorite episodes. And we also have a growing community on YouTube. Our YouTube channel is called #Silliman. Don't forget to click the notification bell for you to be updated with our recent posts. See you there.
And of course, catch us at Channel 6 Field Products every Monday at 8 p.m. and replays will be shown every Tuesday before the noontime news and every Saturday after the noontime news. This has been Ronelyn Faith Vailoces-Not.
And of course, Joshua Soldivillo. Kita-kits next week only here on #Silliman!